Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin basically confirms all the rumors and all the speculation about Brandon Aiyuk to the Pittsburgh Steelers in his media session today, where he jokes around. But first, before I get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like the video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, it seems as though the steam for the Pittsburgh Steelers train for Brandon Aiyuk has started to pick up, and the rumor mill is hot right now with Brandon Aiyuk trade speculation involving the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the media at any given chance is going to ask Mike Tomlin about it. So when Mike Tomlin appeared at his press conference early this morning, he was asked about the speculation, about Brandon Aiyuk, about training for a wide receiver. So when he was asked if he had any early morning phone calls, this is what he had to say. He said, "It's a little early on the west side right now." So Mike Tomlin knows what he's doing here. He can't full on say that the trade speculation is true, but what he can do is joke around and go around the narrative, and that's exactly what he did. So what does this mean? Well, Mike Tomlin appeared to the media around 8:30, which means it would make it around 5:30 a.m. in the Western time. And where is San Francisco located? They're located on the Western time zone. So it would be early on in the morning, and Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch still might be sleeping. So basically, he's basically saying that he had no phone calls yet early on in the morning, and when they wake up a little bit later, and it gets a little later in the day, because it's still early for them, maybe then the phones will be ringing, and he will be on the phones, and Omar Khan will be on the phones. He can't straight out come up and say, yes, we're trying to trade for Brandon Aiyuk, but he can go around the narrative and give little hints. And that's exactly what he did. Also, he was asked directly as well if the Steelers are actively trying to add a wide receiver to the depth chart. And if you look at his body language, he started smiling. He had a biggest grin on his face, looking around the room, and he said this, I'll let you guys speculate on that. Obviously, Mike Tomlin, he's hinting at it, and it seems as though it's a done deal, even though it's not as of yet. Mike Tomlin is also known for, when being in the rumors for things, not really giving straight answers and not really joking around about a situation and being serious and kind of downplaying stuff. So the fact that he's able to joke around in this situation with a grin on his face, him smiling, making jokes about the time zones being different, obviously he's pointing out the obvious. And he may actually think this is going to be a done deal very shortly, or else he may not even joke around about it, and he may just downplay it in general if he didn't believe it would happen. But him joking around may actually mean that Brandon Aiyuk is a Pittsburgh Steeler. But we could all just be reading into everything that's happening right now because we want something to happen. So it could look at it on both sides. So the Pittsburgh Steelers' steam towards trading for Brandon Aiyuk has started to pick up. Within the last 2 days, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been all around the news, saying basically that's the only team that Brandon Aiyuk has any chance of going to, because that's the only team he will sign a contract extension for. The Browns, the Patriots, they're interested. They have a better offer on the table for the San Francisco 49ers, but because Brandon Aiyuk has all the leverage, because he would have to sign an extension with the team, he could choose where he wants to go, and he chooses the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the ball is in the Steelers' court, and the ball has been in the Steelers' court basically all offseason, because the Steelers have been in the mix for every wide receiver that has touched the trade block or that was in the rumors of being traded or even in free agency, because ever since they traded Deontay Johnson, they really only have George Pickens on this roster, who is certified at the wide receiver spot. So they've been in the mix all offseason, and now it may actually finally happen. And Brandon Aiyuk to the Pittsburgh Steelers seems like basically a done deal. Yesterday, there was actually reports saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers have finalized a deal with the 49ers for Brandon Aiyuk, but that was not the case, There's also some others saying that he was actually already been traded and they're just waiting on the final word. That did not happen either, but it is in the works because Brandon Aiyuk, he is going basically to the Steelers. He wants to sign that contract extension with the Steelers. He basically declined the Browns, declined the Patriots because he did not want to sign a contract extension with them. So they're basically all out of the mix. That leaves only the Steelers. And if you remember, a month back, Brandon Aiyuk said the only team that he sees himself playing for next season is either with the 49ers signing that contract extension, which obviously they don't want to do anymore and they want to trade him, or he sees himself with the Washington Commanders with his best friend Jaden McDaniels at the quarterback spot, or he sees himself as a Pittsburgh Steeler. And if you've seen all the offseason drama, if you've seen all the videos, Brandon Aiyuk appearing in a Pittsburgh Pirates hat, him talking about the Steelers nonstop, him posting on social media about the Steelers, basically saying that Mike Tomlin is his twin, they look alike, everything like that. So he basically wants to be a Steeler. And now we're just waiting on the final word. And he has all the leverage in this situation because the team's not going to trade for him. If they know that he's not going to sign that contract extension, they're not going to give up a first round pick, a second round pick, a third round pick, and even more for a player if you know that he's not going to sign with you long term, especially when that contract is ending after this season and he'll be a free agent. You're not going to give up all that draft capital or even a player for a player that doesn't want to be there and will leave your team. So that's why if he says that he will only wants to go to the Steelers or Washington Commanders, but it seems like the Washington Commanders aren't even in the mix for this. If he only wants to go to the Steelers, we're just waiting on a deal. We're just waiting on the 49ers to accept a deal from the Steelers because obviously the Steelers, they're going to give that contract extension for him and they have the ball in their court and they can lowball the 49ers all they want because if that's the only team he's going to go to, then the Steelers can just wait it out, lowball the 49ers, not give up a first round pick, maybe only give up a second day pick or a player or something like that, or a combination of it. But they may not have to give a high price, in which they were rumored to have given, or at least offered, back in March, May, wherever it was. So you look at the Steelers, and over the last few days, there's been rumors of players that would be in the mix, or that the 49ers want to be involved in a trade for Brandon Aiyuk. It was rumored that the 49ers want one of these players, James Daniels, Pat Freiermuth, George Pickens. They wanted one of those players. Want. Not that the Steelers are willing to give up one of those players, but that they want one of those players in a trade for Brandon Aiyuk. Obviously, the Steelers don't have to do that. They don't have to give up George Pickens. I don't see why they would. Obviously, they wouldn't. It just makes no sense. They probably wouldn't give up Pat Freiermuth. That makes no sense either. The only one that even makes a little bit of sense is James Daniels because his contract is up after the season and they did not sign him to a contract extension. They drafted a player in Mason McCormick who's at his spot, right guard, and kind of a backup to him, probably someone to learn for him, maybe take over in a year. That one's the only one that makes a load of sense, but who knows in this situation. It's also been rumored that maybe Calvin Austin's involved in the trade or something like that, Dan Moore Jr., because the Steelers don't have room for him if they have Broderick Jones, Troy Fautanu. They drafted those two in the first round in back-to-back years, so maybe he's involved in the trade. But those are the rumors that we're hearing right now, and this is basically everything that we know so far about the Brandon Aiyuk trade situation to the Pittsburgh Steelers from the 49ers. But just to kind of recap this Brandon Aiyuk situation, as of we know right now, Brandon Aiyuk wants to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. That's the only team he's willing to go to. He declined the Patriots, declined the Browns. They had better offers for the 49ers in terms of trade packages, but they can't accept it unless he signs an extension with them. He doesn't want to do that. He only wants to go to the Steelers. So now we're waiting for the Steelers to make offer that the 49ers will accept, or for 49ers to put down their wants for a trade package and for basically Omar Khan to just fleece the 49ers. That's what we're waiting for. And to recap this as well, obviously Brandon Aiyuk, he would help the Pittsburgh Steelers a lot. It would add another receiver, another playmaker to this offense, another physical specimen, someone who's a really pure route runner, maybe the best route runner in the NFL, or at least top 3. and also a really good catcher, someone with speed, a really good blocker, someone willing to block, and just a really good football player in general to add to this offense, to add another weapon for Arthur Smith, Russell Wilson, whoever's starting at quarterback, just another weapon on this team, someone to help with easing the load off of George Pickens, and just someone who could be an all-around amazing player for the Steelers. That's something in that we would get in Brandon Aiyuk. It would obviously take a lot. May take a first-round draft pick. It has been reported that Steelers aren't offering one, so maybe we'll take a second-day pick, a player, who knows. So that's the recap on Brandon Aiyuk. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about this situation, about Mike Tomlin joking around about Brandon Aiyuk and basically confirming all the reports, all the speculation going on with his comments and his joking around with his media availability session today. Do you want Brandon Aiyuk to be a Pittsburgh Steeler? Are you willing to give up all that draft capital, that huge price for him, also all that money? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, or do you think we just don't need him? Let me know your thoughts. And also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. And also, make sure you like this video. I cover everything Steelers highlights and analysis. All training camp highlights are on this channel. All player videos, new players we got are on this channel. I'll continue to cover all the news as well. So like, comment, subscribe. And until the next video, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.